I think we're doing the right things. I think we're making the right moves, and we're also offering little carrots every once in a while to those players that says, hey, you can use this SMG if you subscribe. We also have recently provided another carrot, which is full time, which is a limited submachine gun, which is the MP34, the grease gun, and the Sten gun, which are newer weapons to World War II Online. If you did not know that. Our objective is not to give a bunch of. I'm going to respond to. I think it's Hage Dorn Lawrence. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Is not necessarily to give them too many toys, but the reality is today's market. When this game was created, free play was like, what are you talking about? Like, what's free play? Today's market requires some sort of free stuff. It just does. It doesn't make our situation better. Of course, we want everyone to be a paying subscriber, but we recognize the reality that that's not going to happen. So, given the state of our older game, which, by the way, has some bugs in it that have been difficult and they're almost fixed, how do we supplement people who are currently unsubscribed, who may be on the sideline, maybe in this feed right now, saying, I'm waiting for Steam or I'm waiting for something big, or for whatever reason, they don't want to subscribe right now. Maybe they just forgot about it or they're interested in another game. I don't know. But we have to supplement our players. I'm going to move on to a different topic. That's a good question. It's a tough one to answer. It's a fine balance. Bert Neff, since a lot of people can't get on the beta server, why not go ahead and implement 135 on the live server? Even if it has some bugs, the infantry play, which is the core of the game, is far better. We share that same opinion, but there is such a thing as releasing too early and generating too many bugs that really is going to shoot ourselves in the foot. We don't want to do that. We're not quite at that point. We are very close. My goal is to have 135 released that is stable and running well by our 15th anniversary. That's my personal goal. Whether or not that's going to happen is going to be based on our development team's capability, availability, and our QA team making sure that things are smooth, and also you guys, the testers, to make sure we got things running properly. So as soon as we can, make no mistake, 135 will be released. But there is a thing called too early. Jacob Jamie asks, have you guys thought about making it so brigades play into HC's ability to move brigades between towns? For example, if a brigade is destroyed and there are no immediate connected friendly towns. Oh, this is a long one. I've got to click see more. Our objective, I'll kind of explain our future with High Command. And I talked about this in our last chat, and I've also talked about it quite a bit during our forum discussions and our rat chat at the tail end of, I think it was February. No, it could have been March. But, High Command right now is a little bit too demanding. I think that we're losing a lot of great officers, a lot of great leaders, because one or two guys are doing way too much work. And they're having to pay to do that work, by the way. And they're also getting chewed out by the player base, by the way. Well, the concept is great, but our ability to field the required manpower requirements, they're just not there anymore. So I think we need to make the burden on HC significantly less to restore some of the basic functions to either the server side, so system operating some things, or for the general player base. I think that the more we rely on High Command, I think the more trouble we're going to get, specifically as the developer and as the game manager, which I'm also acting as. That's not a good route to take. So, but there are a lot of things that were good. It was a great concept. It's just no longer that due to manpower requirements. So we need to restore the HC to be a bit more of what its original intention was, I think, which was to be more operationally focused and event organizers, if you will. People to, hey, let's go attack this place. Let's go make this AO. Not let's play chess all day. And look, I did High Command for 7.5 years, so I know the drill before and after TONEs and all these brigades and stuff. And it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder. So I think the more we rely on that, the worse we're going to be. Okay, let's get some other questions. I'm checking in with my community. managers right now. I need more questions. I'm running out. You guys are staring at me. I'm gonna have a drink real quick. Am I coming in okay? Can you guys give me some feedback? Is this all coming through good? I imagine I would have heard something if it wasn't, but just to double check. Call Kempert and Klaus. Johan. I'm not sure what that means. But okay. I know Klaus. Hope he's doing good. Coming in fine. Great. So, when I get quiet, that means I don't have other questions to answer. I'm here for you guys. Jacob said, I said bridges, and also on my end you are a black screen, but that could be me. Okay. Well, everybody else says I'm coming through okay. I don't have much to add. I don't really see us changing much of the functionality for bridges. Sorry, I thought I read brigades. But it was important for me to go over that topic anyway, so it was good. Patrick Coyle said, earlier you mentioned the cloud. Will using the cloud significantly reduce operating costs? And if so, what do you plan to do with the extra savings? Well, the truth is, yes, if we can get on the cloud, I think, and we'd have to get some quotes and figure out exactly what service we're going to go with. I think, very tentatively, with no binding statements, that it should. I think the biggest thing is the reliance on our hardware would be removed. And we got some newer hardware, and we've done a lot of great networking fixes over the last year and a half or two. But at some point, that's going to age, and we're going to have to do that all over again. On the cloud, you won't have to worry about that, or several other things, to include having hands on deck to be able to go to your co-location when something goes wrong, or your programmer thought they were doing something, and oops, I just locked ourselves out of the network. Call Blue, hey dude, I know it's 2 a.m., can you go down to Colo? And he's like, all right. It reduces a lot of problems. So in terms of the savings, I think it's there. I know it's there in terms of like not having to buy additional hardware. It's still going to be spendy, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be cheap. We're running an MMO 24/7 with users all across the world. And with the extra cash, we don't know that there will be. So I don't know. My main goal is, I think we're stable now. If we had additional money, it would be deployed into development resources, people, software, etc., hardware if needed. I'm going to go ahead and move on to some other questions. Terry, we have people who are paying a premium subscription. We could, for the free play guys, look at some advertising to generate revenue, some ads as you're loading up in the game for free players only. That'd probably be the only people. I'm not exactly excited about that. It's not something I'm really like, yeah, we're going to do that. I don't think that there's going to be a lot made there, to be quite honest. I just don't see it. Stanley Wilkin asked, will the map get better like will it get bigger, excuse me, like North Africa and the East? Maybe on a version 2.0, but not this one. We have no intentions at this stage to really expand the size of our terrain. First off, it's huge. A huge percentage of it is not utilized, and there's just no benefit to having that much. I think it's hurting us at this stage of the game. I think the original plan was to keep going and going and going. I think the scale of our game is great, don't get me wrong, but if you factor in how much of the land that we have in our campaign that is not used, it's a big deal, and it does hurt things in terms of graphics and performance. There's just, yeah, I don't see us doing that. On a new iteration, perhaps, and if we made that as part of our development plan, maybe. But then you have to think about all of the art assets that have gone into the Western theater, then you have to repurpose them or get new ones for the African theater, and then the East theater. You know, it's like, as a consumer, that sounds fairly easy, but as a developer, that is a monstrous task you're asking for. So we'd have to really think, which one are we going to go for? Because remember, World War II Online wanted to do all sorts of stuff, and look how much got done over 15 years. Not that it's bad, a lot got done. I'm not trying, that's not a smack talk. It's just, the reality is you can't get too crazy. You have to have a structured focus and build off of that. Michael Franklin Medina asks, when will new structure like the old bunkers come in? So we, I had one of our environment artists work on the old bunker, and we expanded the top floor a little bit. We did some reworking on the bottom floor, and we retextured it as well and added some different elements inside. Our intention is now that we have this new software, once we start to work on terrain with this new team, which hasn't happened yet, at that stage, then we will look at getting those old bunkers in. And I think in terms of the terrain, that'll probably be the first thing we're going to do outside of player place objects. Peter Williams said, "What do you think is the biggest issue facing World War II online at this moment? Funding. My ability to get things done. I could get so much done at this stage. I just don't understand why. Sorry, I've got some guys talking. Oh my God, things are going terrible with the other streams. Funding has been our biggest problem this whole time. It's really challenging at the moment. If I need to get some things done, I've got to rely on volunteers, great volunteers who deserve to be paid, professional people with a very specific skill set that really empowers our team to do more. And that is our biggest challenge. And I think it's always been a challenge. Before when there was funding, it's just a never-ending thing. But our funding and our operating budget is as low as it's ever been. Still, it's an issue. We're playing our cards very smart. Running pretty cheap. That doesn't always produce the best results. We could have gotten a lot more done with funding. Burton F. asked, what language is the game program in? C++. So C and variations. There's all sorts of different